Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Brad Bodnarchuk podcast. I am your host, Brad Bodnarchuk. Absolutely honored and excited to have you guys here for a brand new episode. Today, I wanted to share a story with you guys that happened to me, or for me, if you will, a few weeks ago, and it's stuck with me ever since. And ever since it happened, I thought I want to get on the podcast and I want to share this because I think this is something that a lot of us find ourselves doing, and I question why. And I question, do we do it even consciously? And I don't think that we do. I think it is a subconscious thing, but that for me is even more dangerous. So let's get right into it. Let me break it down. A few weeks ago, I found myself returning to an establishment here in Halifax that has been open for a little bit, still going through some growing pains, but a place that I really think has a ton of potential. And myself and Lindsay and my parents, we've been to it, and it's like a really cool spot. And again, like I said, it has a ton of potential. I went in and I was underwhelmed by my experience. And because of what I do, because of my consulting in hospitality with restaurants and bars and cafes and hotels, when I enter into a space, I feel as though I'm looking at things through a different lens than, say, the average consumer. And on this certain occasion, I walked in and there were glaring issues that I felt if it was my business, I would want someone to tell me and I would want rectified. So I was lucky enough to have contact with one of the people that I know is involved with the project. So after I mulled over whether or not I should reach out or I shouldn't, I thought, you know what, my gut instinct is to reach out. So I'm just going to reach out. So I reached out and kind of laid out what I thought was not the issue, but what I thought could have been improved upon. So I laid it out in this message to this person, and a day or two later, I got a response. And the response basically was, that's not really what I do. That's more of what this person does. So perhaps you should talk to this person. And while immediately I wasn't alarmed, shortly thereafter, I was really alarmed. And I don't want to throw too much shade at this person. I don't even know if they listen to the podcast. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But this person, I'll give you guys an idea. So it's a cafe, and this person is in charge of all of the food, like the menu. They create everything. And I look at someone like that, like a chef or a cook or a baker. I look at them as an artist. And as this person was telling me that the items that I brought up weren't really their issue, it was someone else's issue, I was really surprised. I was surprised because I look at them as an artist. And I thought right away of the analogy of, if you are creating paintings and you are hanging it in a museum where the lighting is off, or it smells bad, or there's dust all over your art, do you not care? Does that not impact what you've created? Does that not change the experience of what you've created? And I was surprised because it was such for me, a passive attitude when it comes to business. This is also in relationships as well. This idea of, it's not my fault or it's not my responsibility. I like to think that as my business grows through my consulting and my coaching, when I bring on staff, when I bring on team to help me create my vision, I want to empower these people, just like I want to empower our family here under this roof, to take on everything as their responsibility. And if they don't know the answer to something, they're going to do their best to find the answer to it. But I don't want for anyone, this is just me, perhaps you disagree with this, but I don't want anyone to ever feel like, oh, it's not my responsibility. No, everything is your responsibility, and everything impacts what you're creating. So whether you're the accountant or the head chef or the custodian or the CEO, when someone comes in and gives you feedback, I feel, again, this is me, I feel the appropriate action is to say, thank you so much for your feedback. I really appreciate it. While maybe this isn't what I do, I'm more than happy to pass it on to the people that do handle this aspect of the business. But instead, what happened was this kind of hands-off response of, that's not really what I handle, so go talk to these people, which is all well and good, but that follow-up, there was no like, hey, this is their number or this is their email. So really it was on me then to chase these people up and convey this message. But I wonder if I had said something like the food sucked, or not even that, because that's too specific for them. What if I said the food came out on a dirty plate? Is washing the plates their responsibility? Probably not. But would they want to know that their food is being put out on a dirty plate? I bet you they would. And the same analogy when I talk about an artist in a gallery, like, would you not want to know if you had a beautiful sculpture that you spent years and months and days and weeks and hours and minutes and seconds creating? Wouldn't you want to know if the art gallery, the front door was smashed in? Or wouldn't you want to know if the floor was sticky? Or wouldn't you want to know if the area in which your art was being displayed was like dirty or loud, or, like I said, poorly lit, or just not in alignment with your vision? I find it is too easy for us nowadays to be too busy doing our own thing to take on responsibility for anything else. And while I don't expect anyone to take on responsibility for things outside of their control, but at the same time, I also fully believe that everything is in your control. So everything is your responsibility, meaning everything is your fault, meaning the good stuff and the bad stuff. So if your life isn't where you want it to be right now, whose fault is that? Is it your past? Is it your parents? Is it your grandparents? Is it your third grade teacher? Is it your coach? No, it's your issue. And the moment we start to make things not our issue, we open ourselves up to a victim mentality. We open ourselves up to be at the, what's the word? We open ourselves to be influenced by everyone else and everything else around us, saying we control nothing. All I control is this. This person was saying, all I control is the food. Everything else isn't up to me, so go talk to someone else about that. I still haven't heard back from those people. I reached out with the exact same message. So either as a group, they don't care, or those people that apparently own this aspect of the business aren't actually into hearing feedback, which is a whole other podcast, which is a whole other ego-free thing. But this interaction and this issue that I take personally with this is an extreme lack of ownership. And I want for you guys listening to this podcast, I want for my clients in my coaching program, I want for my clients in my consulting work to have an extreme level of ownership. When someone comes to you and says, hey, X was off in my experience, I don't care if you handle A and B, you never touch X. I want you to have a mindset of, thank you so much. I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that X is appropriate or right the next time you come in. And while I don't expect anything from this person or from this business, all I was really doing was offering assistance. And this isn't about me at all. I'm not trying to make this about me. What I'm trying to make this about is this mindset of, or this passiveness of where we're at right now, where it's so easy to pass things off. I want you guys that are listening to understand that everything that you want is in your control and everything that you don't want is in your control. So what do you ultimately want? Do you want a business where someone comes in and experiences your product that you're creating to be a phenomenal one? Or are you okay with it being okay because you just bake the bread, you don't control the music or the lighting or the cleanliness? That to me is just such a slippery slope and such a victim mentality just waiting to creep up and expose itself. So I encourage you guys in your relationships, in your friendships, your intimate relationships, your friendships, your business relationships, be very conscious of when you have the opportunity to take extreme ownership, that you take extreme ownership and you never play the victim. Understand that fundamentally, you are in control of everything in your life. Everything that isn't the way you want it to be right now is your fault, which also means everything that you want to change is your potential and possibility. I'm going to leave you guys there. I will mention before I go, we are on week 2 of Life the Recipe, my live coaching program. If you guys are still interested in coming in and joining the group, it is not too late. Now is a great time to come in. We're just kind of getting the wheels moving in the program, learning more about ourselves, learning more about each other. I would love to have you guys in the group. And if you're interested in getting in the mix, reach out to me personally, brad@bradbodnarchuk.com. And on that note as well, the Life the Recipe Daily Journal is being printed with Tellwell Publishers in Victoria, BC. That is a pre-order right now on the website. Check out bradbodnarchuk.com under the new products, and you can check out the book there. Pre-order your copy, and I'll get that to you as soon as it's printed. That is it from me. Have an incredible day. Take ownership. Take extreme ownership of your lives. Be really, 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 really good to each other. Work ridiculously hard, and I'll see you next time for a brand new episode. Peace.